The girls continued to learn from each other, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. They were determined not to let their lack of formal education hold them back. They knew that one day their mother would find a way to send them to school, but until then, they would make the most of what they had. When Ekwe came home in the evenings, she would check on their progress. She was amazed at how much they had learned on their own. "You girls are so clever," she would say, her eyes shining with pride. "I know you will do great things." One evening, as they sat down for dinner, Omalicha brought up the topic again. "Mama, when do you think we can go to school?" she asked. Ekwe sighed, feeling the weight of their dreams on her shoulders. "I don't know, my dear, but I am working hard every day to make it happen. I won't give up, and neither should you." "We won't, Mama," Amarachi said firmly. "We will keep studying and learning until we can go to school." Onyenyechi nodded. "And when we finally go, we will be the best students there." Ekwe smiled, her heart swelling with love for her daughters. "I believe in you, my girls. You are already the best in my eyes." The triplets continued to study diligently, helping each other and encouraging one another to never give up. They knew their mother was doing everything she could, and they were determined to make her proud. Their home might have been small and their resources limited, but their dreams were big and their spirits unbreakable. One afternoon, as the girls were reading, Amarachi found a story in their book about a famous scientist. "Look at this," she said excitedly. "This scientist grew up in a village just like ours and didn't go to school until he was older. But he never gave up on learning and became very successful." Omalicha's eyes sparkled with determination. "That will be us one day. We'll keep learning, and one day we'll go to school and achieve our dreams." Onyenyechi smiled and nodded. "Yes, we will, and we'll make Mama proud every step of the way." That evening, when Ekwe returned home, she found her daughters eagerly discussing the story. She listened as they shared their dreams and plans, her heart swelling with pride and hope. "You girls are my inspiration," she said, tears of joy in her eyes. "I know that with your determination and hard work, you will achieve great things, and I promise, I will do everything in my power to make your dreams come true." The triplets hugged their mother tightly, their bond stronger than ever. They knew that as long as they had each other and their mother's love, they could overcome any obstacle that came their way. And so, they faced each day with hope and determination, believing that one day, their dream of going to school would come true. They knew that as long as they had each other and their mother's love, they could achieve anything. One bright morning, as Ekwe was preparing breakfast, her old friend Adaobi called her. Adaobi had some good news. "Ekwe, there's a cleaning job at a new apartment for a rich man," Adaobi said excitedly over the phone. "The pay is good, and it could really help you with your daughters." Ekwe's heart leapt with hope. This was the opportunity she had been praying for. "Thank you so much, Adaobi. I will take the job," she replied, her voice filled with gratitude. That night, as they sat down for dinner, Ekwe shared the news with her daughters. "My dear girls, I have good news. Tomorrow we have a cleaning job at a new apartment. The pay will help us a lot, and it means I might be able to send you to school soon." The triplets' eyes lit up with excitement. "Really, Mama? We can help you," Omalicha exclaimed. "Yes, Mama, we want to help," Amarachi added eagerly. Onyenyechi nodded enthusiastically. "We'll work hard." Ekwe smiled, feeling a surge of pride and love for her daughters. "Thank you, my darlings. I can't do it alone, so we'll all go together. Let's get some rest tonight, so we have the energy to work hard tomorrow." The next morning, they woke up early, ate a simple breakfast, and headed to the new apartment. It was a large, luxurious place, unlike anything they had ever seen. The triplets looked around in awe. "Wow, this place is so big," Omalicha whispered. "It's beautiful," Amarachi added, her eyes wide with wonder. Equi smiled at their reactions but quickly focused on the task ahead. All right, girls, we have a lot of work to do. Let's get started. They divided the tasks among themselves. Equi scrubbed the floors and cleaned the bathrooms, while the triplets dusted the furniture, wiped the windows, and cleaned the kitchen. They worked tirelessly, their determination and teamwork shining through. Mama, look, I made the windows sparkle, Onyenyechi said proudly, showing her mother the gleaming glass. Great job, Onyenyechi, Equi praised her daughter. Keep up the good work, everyone. As the day went on, they continued to work hard, taking short breaks to drink water and catch their breath. The triplets never complained, and Equi was amazed at how helpful and hard-working they were. By late afternoon, they had finished cleaning the entire apartment. It looked spotless, and Equi felt a sense of accomplishment. She called the owner to inform him they were done. "We've finished cleaning the apartment," she said. "When can we get paid?" The owner replied, "Thank you for your hard work. Please come back tomorrow for the payment." Equi hesitated for a moment, but she had no choice but to agree. "All right, we'll come back tomorrow." As they left the apartment and walked home, they were all exhausted, but content. "I'm so proud of you girls. You worked so hard today," Equi said, her voice filled with pride. "We wanted to help, Mama," Amarachi replied, "and we did it together." When they arrived home, they quickly prepared a simple dinner. They were too tired to cook anything elaborate, so they ate what little they had and then got ready for bed. "Mama, do you think we'll get the money tomorrow?" Omalicha asked as she climbed into bed. "I hope so, my dear. We worked very hard, and I believe everything will be all right," Equi reassured her. Onyenyechi yawned and snuggled under her blanket. "I'm so tired, but it feels good to help." Equi kissed each of her daughters on the forehead. "Sleep well, my loves. Tomorrow will be a better day." As the triplets drifted off to sleep, Equi sat by their bedside, watching them. She felt a mixture of exhaustion and hope. They had worked so hard, and she prayed that their efforts would be rewarded. The next day, they woke up early again, filled with anticipation. After a quick breakfast, they headed back to the apartment to meet the owner. They knocked on the door, and the owner greeted them with a warm smile. "Thank you for coming back. Here is your payment," he said, handing Equi an envelope. Equi's hands trembled slightly as she took the envelope and opened it. Inside was the money they had earned. It was enough to make a real difference for her family. "Thank you so much," Equi said, her voice filled with gratitude. "This means a lot to us." The owner nodded kindly. "You did an excellent job. If I need more cleaning in the future, I will definitely call you." As they walked home, Equi and her daughters felt a sense of relief and joy. They had worked hard, and it had paid off. Equi knew that this money would help them greatly and bring them one step closer to achieving their dreams. "We did it, Mama," Omalicha said, her face beaming with pride. "Yes, we did," Equi replied, hugging her daughters tightly. "I'm so proud of all of you." They celebrated that evening with a slightly better dinner, feeling grateful for the opportunity and hopeful for the future. As they sat together, Equi looked at her daughters with love and determination. "Tomorrow, we will start planning for your school," she said. "This is just the beginning. Together, we can achieve anything." The triplets nodded eagerly, their faces shining with happiness and hope. They knew that with their mother's love and their own hard work, their dreams would come true. And so, they went to bed that night, filled with excitement for the future, knowing that brighter days were ahead. The next day, just as the sun was rising, Equi's phone rang. It was the man whose apartment they had cleaned the day before, Mr. Joseph. "Good morning, Equi," he greeted warmly. "I was very pleased with your work yesterday. Could you come over again today for another cleaning?" "Of course, sir," Equi replied, trying to hide her excitement. I will be there as soon as possible." She hurriedly got dressed and left her daughters with instructions to stay safe and continue with their studies while she was out. When she arrived at Mr. Joseph's apartment, he greeted her at the door. "Thank you for coming so quickly," Mr. Joseph said. "I wanted to ask you something. Are you available to work for me as a full-time housekeeper?" Ekwe's heart leapt at the opportunity. This job could provide the stability she needed for her daughters. But she hesitated, thinking about her children. "Sir, I have 3 daughters. If I take this job, I would need to bring them with me. Is that all right?" Mr. Joseph smiled kindly. "That's not a problem at all. Bring them along. There's plenty of space here." Ekwe felt a surge of relief and gratitude. "Thank you so much, sir. I will talk to my daughters and let you know." When she returned home and told her daughters about the job offer, they were overjoyed. "Mama, this is wonderful news," Omalicha exclaimed. "Yes, Mama, you should take the job," Amarachi added eagerly. Onyinyechi nodded with excitement. "We'll all be together, and you'll have a good job." Ekwe, however, still felt a bit uncertain. "Are you sure you're all right with this? It will mean a big change for all of us." "We are sure, Mama," Omalicha reassured her. "This is a great opportunity. We will be fine." After seeing the enthusiasm in her daughters' faces, Ekwe decided to accept the job. She knew that this could be the fresh start they needed. A few days later, they packed their belongings and moved into Mr. Joseph's home. Mr. Joseph had just relocated from Lagos to Kaduna. He ran his own company and was very dedicated to his business. Despite his busy schedule, he was a kind and considerate man. He made Ekwe and her daughters feel at home from the moment they arrived. "This is your new home," Mr. Joseph said, showing them around the spacious apartment. "You can make yourselves comfortable here." The area where Mr. Joseph lived was upscale and expensive. The schools in the neighborhood were beyond what Ekwe had initially budgeted for her daughter's school fees. Despite her excitement about the new job, Ekwe decided to wait until she received her first salary before enrolling the girls in school. Mr. Joseph showed the triplets to their room, which was large and comfortable. "This room is for you 3, he said with a smile. "Thank you, Mr. Joseph," the girls chorused, their eyes wide with amazement. Ekwe was given her own room, which was a luxury she hadn't experienced in a long time. "Thank you so much for your kindness, sir," she said, deeply moved. "You're welcome, Ekwe," Mr. Joseph replied. "You and your daughters deserve to feel at home here." The days that followed were busy but fulfilling. Ekwe worked hard as Mr. Joseph's housekeeper, cleaning, cooking, and managing the household. Mr. Joseph treated her with respect and appreciation, and the girls were happy to help their mother with smaller tasks. "Mama, this place is so nice," Amarachi said one evening as they gathered for dinner in the kitchen. "We're very lucky." "Yes, we are," Ekwe agreed, smiling at her daughters. "I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I'm glad we're all together." The triplets continued to study diligently, reading their books and helping each other with their lessons. Ekwe was proud of their determination and intelligence. She knew that once she received her salary, she would be able to enroll them in school and give them the education they deserved. One evening, Mr. Joseph called Ekwe into his study. "Ekwe, I wanted to discuss something with you," he said. "I know you want to enroll your daughters in school. Please don't worry about the fees. I can help with that." Ekwe's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I don't know how to repay your kindness." "You don't need to repay me," Mr. Joseph replied with a warm smile. "I believe in giving back and helping where I can. Your daughters deserve a good education." That night, Ekwe shared the news with her daughters. "Mr. Joseph has offered to help with your school fees," she said, her voice choked with emotion. The triplets were overjoyed. "Really, Mama? That's amazing!" Omalicha exclaimed. "We're so lucky to have Mr. Joseph," Amarachi added. Onyenyechi hugged her mother tightly. Thank you, Mama, for everything. As they went to bed that night, Ekwi felt a sense of peace and hope that she hadn't felt in a long time. She knew that their lives were finally taking a turn for the better, and she was deeply grateful for the new opportunities that lay ahead. With Mr. Joseph's support and her daughter's determination, she believed that they could achieve anything they set their minds to. And so, they settled into their new home, ready to embrace the future with hope and determination, knowing that brighter days were finally within their reach. The next day, Mr. Joseph took the triplets to one of the best schools in the area. As they walked into the school, Omalicha, Amarachi, and Onyenyechi were filled with excitement and nervousness. This school is so big and beautiful, Amarachi whispered, looking around in awe. Do you think we'll make new friends? Onyenyechi asked, holding her sister's hand tightly. I'm sure we will, Omalicha replied confidently. Let's just be ourselves. Mr. Joseph handled all the registration paperwork, making sure the triplets were enrolled and ready to start their new academic journey. The school administrators were impressed with the girls' eagerness to learn and welcomed them warmly. Welcome to our school, the principal said, shaking hands with Mr. Joseph and the girls. We are happy to have you here. Thank you, sir, the girls chorused, their faces beaming with happiness. After the registration, Mr. Joseph took the triplets back home. Ekwi was waiting anxiously, and when she saw them, her heart swelled with pride and gratitude. How did it go? She asked eagerly. Mama, we are going to start school tomorrow, Omalicha exclaimed, jumping up and down. Mr. Joseph registered us in a very good school, Amarachi added, her eyes shining with excitement. Thank you so much, sir, Onyenyechi said, looking up at Mr. Joseph with admiration. Ekwi couldn't stop thanking Mr. Joseph. I don't know how to thank you enough for what you've done for us, she said, her voice filled with emotion. Mr. Joseph smiled kindly. It's my pleasure, Ekwi. I'm happy to help. Just make sure the girls study hard and make the most of this opportunity. Ekwi nodded, tears of joy in her eyes. I will, sir. Thank you. As the days went by, the triplets settled into their new school. They made new friends and quickly adapted to their new environment. Every evening, they would excitedly tell their mother about their day at school. Mama, I answered a question in class today, and the teacher said I was very smart, Onyenyechi said proudly. And I made a new friend. Her name is Ada, Amarachi added. Omalicha nodded. We are learning so much, Mama. Thank you for everything. Ekwi felt a deep sense of pride and happiness. I'm so proud of all of you. Remember to always be humble and kind. Work hard, and you will achieve great things. Mr. Joseph became like a member of their family. He would often join them for meals and spend time with the girls, helping them with their homework and sharing stories. One evening, as they were all gathered in the living room, Omalicha looked at Mr. Joseph thoughtfully. Mr. Joseph, can you be our father? She asked innocently.